Hey everyone, I am back. I am coming at you with almost pretty close to a 3-year update on my surgery, my progress, my good, my bad, the pros, the cons, anything I can think of. I'm just going to give you a status of what's going on with me right now. So as you can see, all my little hobbies and everything are in the back because it's also through COVID. Today is November 18th, 2020, and I had my surgery 3 years ago on November 20th, 2017. My surgery weight at that time was 347 pounds. I am currently weighing at 233 pounds, giving me a total of 114 pounds lost. I am not at my goal weights, but every day is a struggle, and I'll talk about that. I also wanted to let people know that I am 5'6", in case you want to know my height. One thing I don't think I've ever told, or I don't know if I've mentioned this to anyone, but I had to lose 25 pounds before I was placed on the liquid surgery pre-diet for 2 weeks, and that started on 11/6 of 2017. So I had to lose on my own 25 pounds to show them I was in the right mindset. Then I started the liquid diet on 11/6, had my surgery on 11/20 of 2017. So my lowest weight was around 224, and it happened last February. One of the things that I noticed about that is I feel like I'm still capable to lose weight, but the struggle's real. I've always done the yo-yo thing, and my body, I feel it lost a whole chunk of weight and now it's stuck around the 235. I feel like my goal weight is 199. I don't know if I'll ever get there. There's some things that I've been recognizing a lot more about myself, and let me explain. One of the things I've noticed is the diet plans and things that I've been on in the past and try to implement now is hard because they were meant for a certain size stomach then than they are now. So I would try to get on these nutrition plans, and although the tips and things that they gave you were really great, I wasn't able to eat that much food. I still can eat more than probably the average person under these surgeries, but I definitely don't eat as much as I did before. I still struggle with body dysmorphia like crazy. I constantly am like, oh my gosh, I'm getting fat. Oh my gosh, I mean, total mental game. I'm always like, I ate too much. I shouldn't have eaten that. I have the guilty of eating. I should be better. Every week I'm like, I could have done this better. Slightly obsessive maybe, but I have had these terrors and this PTSD throughout my entire life of gaining weight uncontrollably, and so of course your mental state does stay with you even though you've had the surgery. So I'm constantly having body dysmorphia. I'm constantly wondering if my clothes are too thick or I look too big. Even after losing 114 pounds, I still struggle with the body dysmorphia. There is a couple things that I have continued to do. I have continued to not drink any carbonation. I found out this last summer that yes, Slurpees are carbonated. So I try to stay away from the carbonation. I've done a really good job at completely staying away and eliminating carbonation in my life ever since I went through the surgery. So I'm still on that. I still take my vitamins religiously. I take them all the time. And one thing that is very important that I continue to do is I weigh myself weekly. Now, I have known for myself in the past when I got way out of hand and uncontrolled, it was definitely because I stopped being accountable. I stopped getting on that scale. I stopped evaluating things. And so I'd rather be slightly obsessive about it than completely let it go lax and end up where I used to be. So can I tell you, I get such anxiety standing on that scale. And there are times where I literally am freaking out and I'm like, I am not fixing to do this. I do not want to see those numbers because of the mind games and things I've had to go through in the past, but I stay consistent and I get on that scale. And sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised and I'm like, whoa, what is my body doing? I actually lost 2 pounds and I feel like a heifer. Or I thought I was doing really well and I gained a pound and a half. I mean, I'm constantly reevaluating. It helps set my mind up for the next week, but stay on the scale. Some people like weighing every day. I'm not going to say it's good or bad for you. I think you should do what's best for you. So for me, I try to do it. I did do it daily as I was losing the weight originally with the surgery, but then only counting weekly, I've gotten to the point now where I just count weekly, and that works for me. But it is a struggle, and it gives me a lot of anxiety even now stepping on that scale, because I know we shouldn't be fixated on numbers, and we should be looking at BMI and other things as well. I definitely know that there are healthier ways of doing it, but for me and my mentality, I still see those numbers and I want to evaluate those numbers. So I do completely understand that there are other ways and probably more accurate ways of checking your results and your weight gain, your weight loss. I totally understand that. But for me and this house, I use the scale. So that is something that I completely feel like I have to remain accountable to. Depending on if I've completely messed up a week or not, I have to stand on that scale. Okay, also, I want to let you know the hair, okay? Yeah, there are times still I get a whole bunch of hair in the shower, or when I'm cleaning and I'm like, holy crap, where I have tons of hair I'm losing. Definitely not as much completely post-surgery. I have stopped with that, which is good, but I do still recognize that I do lose a lot of hair. I take biotin supplements. For a while there, I was using biotin shampoo. I do definitely try to use a hair, skin, and nails. I think you can get at Costco, but I feel fine. I feel fine. My hair has grown back for the most part. Slightly not as thick, but nothing noticeable on my end. In fact, it's been growing a lot. I definitely was overwhelmed at first with the hair loss, but as for me, and I don't know if it's because I'm constantly also still trying to keep protein in first before I eat the rest of my food, but I haven't seen a significant problem with the hair. As for the loose skin, I don't show my stomach a lot, so I'm not bothered by the loose skin I have on my stomach, which I do have some. I do have, you can't quite see it, but I do have a little bit of loose skin on my arms. I always felt like through my weight gain and weight losses, my arms have always stayed pretty okay, but I do have, the flap, but I don't know many people who don't. Other than that, I really don't have significant flappy skin. I did have a lot of muscle too in comparison to fat, so that could have helped, but aside from my stomach, and I don't expose my stomach because of insecurities, that being said, I really don't have a problem with it. It's not hurt my life, my intimate life, it hasn't hurt anything, so I'm not really worried about it. And I'd love to get down and lose a lot more weight, and maybe if I were to lose 35 more pounds, I would see it more significantly, but right now I'm really not seeing that or being really affected by it. Another thing that I have realized, I've come across the fact that I need to be more aware of my PCOS. Yes, I have PCOS. PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's pretty much having diabetes of the ovaries. A lot more common nowadays, but it does jack up your hormones. It makes it significantly harder to lose weight, which was one of the reasons why I also had the surgery. I constantly have problems. I've been thinking I need to go get my hormones tested, because there's been times I've been really great on my diet and I'm not losing any weight, or not good. I mean, I'm all over the place. I still can't guess what I'm eating or what I'm not eating, and able to charge or figure out what works for me. It's been really tough, and PCOS has had a big play in that. And so I'm looking at getting my hormones tested, hoping to maybe take a supplement or progesterone or something that can help me with that. So that is something that I'm looking into, because it's still difficult for me to reach my goals, and it's PCOS in general, it's just rough. It's just rough to lose weight. You have all these side effects. I feel like it makes me crazy. But yeah, it's a lot more common in women than you may think. And so my heart goes out to those girls that work out nonstop, that diet nonstop, and they never see results, because it is definitely a real thing. So I am now investigating more knowledge and doing more studying on PCOS for me, and what I can do for my body to make it more regulated and be able to lose the weight that I need to. Also aligned with PCOS, if you work out more, it actually shifts your adrenaline hormones higher, which enables you or disables you in order to lose weight. So everything's backwards when you have PCOS. So my heart goes out to the women with PCOS. So that's another thing that I'm trying to figure out to get me on this health train. I want to state for the record, yes, I still get ravenous. I still get extremely hungry. My head is way bigger than my stomach, and I seem to think I can eat it all. That is not the case. But I hear of people who've had the surgery and they're like, oh, you'll never be hungry again. You'll never have cravings. That is not true. I have cravings on the reg. I am constantly, if I go without, I, tend to sort of eat to keep me from that horrific hunger that I go through, but I still get super hungry and I still have tons of cravings. That does not go away. So all the people that I heard that said it does, they are on crack, because you still have all of that. And during this time where the election is going crazy with Biden and Trump, and COVID is making people stay inside, there's a whole lot of emotional eating going on. Whole lot of emotional eating. And you know what? I'm trying to give myself some mercy, because I have not been as good as I normally am. I've been a lot less mobile. There's been a lot of things that I haven't done that I would normally do. So it has been a crazy year. And so there is a lot of emotional eating going on, and I'm not denying it. And I think you guys should be patient with yourselves as well, because there are times in life that stress gets out of control and you will emotionally eat, as I am. Something that I have tried to do to keep myself more away from the kitchen and not bored eat, I have really tried to step up my hobby game. I'm in a situation where I'm working from home, and so I feel like there's a lot of projects I can get done. There's a lot of things I can do. There's a lot of things I can learn. And so I've really been trying to maintain hobbies. And so far, just to name a couple of them, because I don't have hobbies, and what do I even do? Where do I turn? What am I interested in? Like, I wanted to learn how to French braid, so I wanted to learn how to do Dutch braids. I wanted to learn how to do gel nails. I wanted to learn how to make certain things, bread, pumpkin chocolate chip bread, certain cookies. I wanted to learn calligraphy. I wanted to learn how to whistle. I'm still working on that one. There's just a lot of little things that I was like, okay, I want to learn how to do these things. I want to, really take advantage of this time, because who knows how long it'll last. And I want to be able to improve myself as well, which has also helped me be kinder to myself when it comes to the weight gain or weight loss. And it's helped sort of distract my time and distract me and put it less on food and being so close to the kitchen and more about other things, which I think is completely helpful. So that being said, let's talk about transfer addiction. My transfer addiction has been shopping. I go in and out of having this under control. Sometimes I feel like I've got it in the bag and it's controlled. Other times, as in this last 2 months, it's been crazy. Some people struggle and have a problem with transfer addiction. Some people don't. I thought I had it taken care of, but every once in a while I have to recognize that I'm shopping a little bit more, because I feel like there's other things that I'm not able to do, like eat a ton before. So I transfer that addiction. I didn't even realize I had an addiction to food, and I hate even admitting that might be the case, but I do have to put that in check often to make sure that I don't ruin my life by shopping myself into a debt hole. So anyway, that's something that I constantly have to keep in check even now. Let's talk about gas and poop. Oh my gosh. I hate this. Anyway, I appreciate those that have reached out. I try to comment back on everyone who does say something, or, I try to recognize and appreciate the fact that you do watch. And I love those people that say I keep it real. Oh, it's hard, because I just didn't hear any of this stuff. I was curious. I wanted to know. I didn't want to know to make fun of anyone. I just literally wanted to know what I was really getting into. I still cannot figure out what I eat that causes flatulence. Anyway, farting. I don't have it figured out. I wish I could tell you, if you stay away from these things, you'll be okay. That's not the case. Sometimes I'm fine eating certain things. Sometimes I'm not. I don't know. There is no rhyme or reason for any of it. Sometimes I'm very regular. I wake up in the morning. I always have a morning poop. My poop is very soft. I hate describing it as this, but it's like frozen yogurt consistency. Very soft, very rarely is it hard, if ever. I have to wash my toilet bowl a lot more because things don't stay connected like they used to. Yeah, so, and there's times when I have to go, I have to go. Like, I'm not saying it's the runs or diarrhea, but it's definitely like, you know, sometimes things will go straight through me. I never know what those things will be. It happens more often in the morning, I think, after I've slept a whole night. I normally have that issue. I don't have it really during the day, but sometimes I've done well for months, like for 6 months, with no gas issues, no issues like that. And then out of the blue, it comes from nowhere. It's happening a lot less than it did happen. So I feel like my body's regulating and getting better with it. But that being said, everything could change tomorrow. So I wish I could give you guys a guideline on how much or how often, or I don't embarrass myself. I feel like I don't really embarrass myself. So that's good. I don't really have accidents in my pants in public. I don't have that problem. It's not like that. I just know if I'm extremely gassy, I just stay away from people. It's not anything really unpredictable. So that's nice, but it still comes around, and I feel like the gas doesn't come around as often as it did before, but it's very unpredictable. I never know. I'm trying as hard as I can to fixate it on a food, fixate it on a drink. I don't know. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't have any of those situations. Dude, I don't know. So anyway, I hope I covered everything I had to talk about, everything that you guys wanted to hear. You wanted to see how I was doing. I'm trying just to, I'm not super thin. I feel like I never will be. I'm not super thin, but I definitely am a lot better than I was. I'm a lot more mobile than I have been. I'm able to do a lot more things that I feel like won't embarrass me as much now than before. So do I regret the surgery? Heck no. Yeah, was it a scary, life-changing thing? Of course, because there's so many unpredictable things with every person's individual body. It's literally, you know, you can only hear what everyone has to say, but ultimately your body may do something completely different. But I don't regret it. I definitely don't regret it. I had a great surgeon, Dr. Cottam in Salt Lake City. I did a lot of research on the surgeon I was going for and who I wanted to do this. Yeah, so I feel like for me, I still am struggling to lose the extra 35 pounds. I'm really trying. I don't work out as much as I should. I really need to step up that game. I need to figure out my PCOS and, you know, stop emotionally eating. I can definitely be critical on myself of the things that I haven't been able to do, but would I love to lose 35 more pounds? Yes. Do I need to regulate my mental clarity with being happy as well? Yes, especially in these times. So I'm sort of in survival, but I'm also like not fixing to see that scale go up. So that's where I'm at. I don't regret the surgery. I love that you guys comment. You guys are so kind, and I appreciate all your questions, your comments. I really appreciate all the support I've received. I hope these help in some way. I hope if you have questions, if you want me to do a video on something, let me know. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you caring. I just appreciate the kindness, especially in these times right now. So anyway, like I said, if you have anything you want to hear about, know about, have questions, you can comment, I can answer. If you want to see a video on something, I can do that as well. You just let me know. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great holiday season, regardless of where you're at. I hope you do get to share it with loved ones. And I hope you guys are checking your mental state and your clarity, and you guys are staying healthy, not only physically, but mentally as well. And I appreciate you watching. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks again.